Well, my dear, dear 12 friends, I am feeling overwhelmed. I've gotten quite a few of my orders have arrived all at once. So I have so many things to talk about. One of the things that I had talked about that I ended up deleting was that everybody's been mentioning Natasha Denona has a new foundation out and a new palette out. And I've never had anything from Natasha Denona. And I have to admit, the new palette, it doesn't appeal because it's a mostly neutral thing, and I have plenty of neutrals. And I didn't want to start there. So I went onto the Sephora site to have a look at what there was, what I might like, and what could I afford. Some of the Natasha Denona palettes there are about, they're over 400 Australian dollars, and I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I just realized that there must be some sort of scale that I can have a go. I can try and see if I like the formula, if I have any, if it works for me. So yeah, Sephora was having a sale on a few palettes, and I grabbed the Roxa palette. I guess this one came out 10 months ago, so what was that, the end of 2024? And Sephora Australia was selling it for $68 and some change. And I thought, hey, that's the one that I'm gonna try and see if I like the formula. And the colors aren't so bad. The colors are, they're purple and a little bit of corals and some nice light grayish tones in there and some nice sparkles. I figured I could do a lot. So I thought I would try and do a 3 looks 1 palette and just really have a bash at it and see how I get on. I have already I did do my face makeup today. So I think the first look I'm going to do is going to use Velour, Sweet Pea, and Orchid. I might use a little bit of, what's that darker one, the darkest one? Eclipse. Let's try mostly matte look first. So I'm going to dip within Velour. Ooh, that's a lot lighter than it looks. Looks a lot pinker as well. I was doing my editing and I was feeling a bit bummed out because I had to cut out a lot of interesting conversations. I thought, well, I'll repeat them today. But one of the bad habits I also noticed is that I would put eyeshadow on like I am now and not talk. I would be concentrating fully on the application in silence. And then I would sit back and have a chat and do nothing. So I need to learn to get into the habit of talking and applying at the same time. That's cute. And one of the things that I wanted to have, that I was talking about that was fun, was my husband and I, we like to watch a lot of Korean dramas on Netflix. I just went into Sweet Pea just a little bit, and I just want to put that up high. But yeah, we like to watch Korean dramas, and the reason that we'll watch a lot of foreign shows. So we'll watch some French ones or Italian ones as well. Anything with a subtitle, because that means that we have to put our phones down and focus on the plot and the story. You know, our phones have become too much of a part of our life that we don't put them down. And if we're watching English shows that we could just listen to with half an ear and use our phones, you know, to do whatever else, then we don't fully immerse and pay attention to what we're watching. I'm just going to look and pop into Orchid. So for the past few years, we've watched quite a lot of Korean dramas, to the point now that we kind of know the themes and the common storyline. We know a lot of the common plot devices, and we're starting to be able to predict what's going to happen. But we love it when we don't. When we can't predict what's going to happen, that's an ace of a show. Gosh, okay, I have to. I'm just trying to get the color on the brush. It's being a little stingy coming out the pan. I don't like to dig. I don't like to dig into palettes. Don't think I should have to. I think if you're digging into palettes, it's a cheap palette. We've watched a lot of them. You know, there's the supernatural ones. There's the back in historic, you know, Korea ones. There's a lot of food themed ones. I don't know. I don't understand. The current one that we're watching, excuse me. Oh, tea time. Bon appetit, Your Majesty. And it's a mixture of, you know, modern chef, Michelin star chef is thrown back in time, you know, several hundred years, and is living in, you know, ancient Korea, and is basically, you know, made the head chef at the palace. But you know, if she makes a bad meal at any point, she could be executed. So she has this threat of death over her. But there's also this, you know, Iron Chef element to it, and it's got a lot of funny moments, and it's, you know, it's interesting. The characters are quite good. I had to go into Eclipse, which is that darkest color, just to try and get some depth and some darkness in there. I feel like I do an awful lot of purple looks. I don't only do purple looks, I swear. So I've been enjoying the show, and my husband, who loves me very much and wants to sit and spend time with me, has also been watching. He's not as much in love with this show. He's got misophonia, which means he doesn't like certain noises, and one of his big triggers is people eating. He doesn't like to listen to people eat. It drives him crazy. So if you're crunching on potato chips or slurping or just any kind of mouth noise, he actually gets really grumpy if I bite my nails. Like, I don't bite my nails anymore. I get them done, so I don't bite them. But just the sound of me biting on my nails used to annoy him, and he'd comment. So, yeah, it bothers him. And this show, whenever they're doing their, you know, the judges of the food competitions are doing their taste testing, they amplify the crunching and they amplify the slurping, and they over egg it an awful lot. And he's just cringing and falling back in this chair, and he's like, oh my God, make it stop. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. He's enduring it. And you can tell that they've added noises where they don't need to add noises, just to really hit the whole kind of over exaggerated slurping sounds. But we've noticed that a lot of the Korean ones is that they are a bunch of fork biters. Like, they scrape their teeth on their spoons and their forks a lot. I'm just going to go back into velour. Just going back into velour. There we go. I've only used the same brush. I should probably change it between my colors. I have plenty of brushes. I just, I have that thing where if it's in my hand, I don't like to put it down. And I'm going to go back into that lighter purple, which is Sweet Pea. Actually, I do need a tinier brush for that one. I'm just going to go in the inner corner of my eye. Sweet Pea. Isn't that the name of Popeye's adopted baby? I think so. Sweet Pea. And make a little halo around the dark. That one's not as light. What's the lightest color in this palette? Phoebe. Phoebe. There we go. I tried to make it just 3, but I can't. Break my own rules. Just putting a little Phoebe up here at the top as well. There. Now, I do want to choose one of the sparkles. I'm just going to go into Dixie, which is, it looks pink and purple, but when you swatch it, it's very blue. I'm just going to go in with a brush first just to see how it goes. And just right in the inner quarter, I'd say, or inner half. It's not working very well. Let me try and wet it. Just using a little setting spray. Oh, that helped. Is it looking bitty? I don't know. Is it glittery? I'm gonna flip my mirror around so I have a better look. It feels like it's not really laying down. Do I have to get in there and press it with a finger? Yeah, I do. Yeah, you do. You gotta get in there and push it with your finger. I have chunky fingers. I don't have dainty digits. What is that? Oh, has it got big bits of glitter in it? It's got a few chunky bits of glitter. And as a contact lens wearer, that gives me a little bit of pause. You definitely don't want that caught in your eye. Yeah, I tried to clean it up as best I could. But yeah, I'd have to be a little more careful about that particular shade. I'm just going to go back into the darkest color again. I can't remember the names. And just go under here. Just a tiny bit. That's just with a little stamp brush. And then back into Sweet Pea. Bring that over. And smudge them in together. Forgot to ask, I just wondered, like, what other things do you like to watch on streaming? Whether it's Netflix or Prime or whatever. We're actually going to consider trying out Paramount Plus for a little while, because there's that Star Trek show that's supposed to be really good. I guess it's got 3 seasons, and I thought, well, we should definitely try that. And we do. We take out subscriptions and then watch the shows that we really want to watch, and when we're done, we'll cancel it for a while and we'll go try somebody else, rather than having, you know, dozens of active subscriptions, because that's expensive. This is a stabby brush. I don't like it. I just poke myself in the eye. And I got a little transfer on the outside of my eye. It's okay. Wait until it dries and we'll fix it. All right, other eye, other look. So for the second look, I'm just going to go in with, I think, just this quad here, which is Cerise, what was it called? Cerise, Heather, Regal, and, well, Phoebe's up in there as well, because you just need that light color, don't you? Well, I do. I know I do. I just assume you do as well. But if you don't, if you can do an all dark look, tell me how you do it, because I would like to learn. So I'm just going to go in with Cerise, which is the reddest color in here. I think I'm just going to put that, oh, that's very pink, just on the lid. Oops. I'll put that one all over the lid. It's just a little extra sparkle that's left over from on my brush. I tried to brush it all off. This is quite a rosy pink, isn't it? I want to try and keep it just on the lid and not above the fold. I don't want to put that there. I want to use a blending color up there. So really just on the whole lid, but not up into the crease part. Set that brush aside because that color is quite strong. And then dipping into Heather to go above it. Oh, now that's almost darker, isn't it? Certainly warmer. And I want to keep within my, just the line of my eye. I don't really want to go too far out. Almost like a 1920s style. Little, like a high rainbow. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just want to diffuse that off as much as possible. No harsh lines. It's kind of hard to tell those two apart. I'm going to find, I have another little stamp brush. This one's got a slant on it. I'm going to go back into that first color, Cerise, and I want to get right close to my lash line. I don't know if it's just my skin tone or something, but I don't see a huge tonal difference between, I mean, in the pan, one looks more orange and one's more pink. On the eye, they look very similar. Well, I guess the only way to fix that is just put the same sparkle over the whole thing and almost count it as a two-colored look. And that sparkle was Regal. So I'm just going to try it on my finger this time. That's what she looks like. Oh, what? You don't like the finger ones. Am I struggling? Why am I struggling? Why am I struggling? This one's more of a satin, I guess, so it's not probably better on its own, really. I'll bring that up higher, just in the center. Do I want to use, I might have to just use that eclipse just to darken it. Just a little bit, like here. Not a lot. Just needs like a degree of depth there, just a little bit of darkness. There's a pink sparkle in the center called Flutter. I'll put that in my inner corner. No, did you plan these looks out before you started filming? No. Why would I do that? Well, I like that. I'm going to put that up in the inner third as well. That's certainly a little brighter than Regal. I don't usually do sparkle in my inner corners. It makes my tear ducts itch. There you go. I almost want to leave that blank. Yeah, I'll do the mascara and be right back. I don't know, I'm feeling a little defeated by this palette. I don't think I've done as well as I'd hoped I would. I don't know. It's not, and I'm not one to sit here and say, oh, it's the palette's fault. The palette sucks. It's I'm sitting here self-doubting, thinking, oh gosh, what have I done? I should have done this off camera and not just jumped straight in and had a go. It's not like I'm on live or anything. I mean, I don't have to publish this. I might not. I might use this as a learning experience and then say, hey, you know what, that didn't work. I tried that didn't work. I think I like everybody's first impressions as they're doing them. It's very honest. But I'm really sorry if my enthusiasm seems to have dipped. That's just me being mean to myself. I don't think the look is terrible. I mean, it's not dramatic. Fairly simple on this eye. That one's a little more impactful. But, you know, I didn't swatch the colors, so I didn't know that some were going to be very glittery, some were less. This Flutter, the pink in the middle, that's obviously a bit more metallic. It's got a lot more sparkly goodness in there. There we are. There's a couple of gobbers in there. I hate mascara gobbers. So I got a whole set of these. They're great for just combing through mascara mess as well. I'll say one thing. I mean, that mascara is not my favorite, but some other mascaras that I've used, I'll get the length, and then I see what, I don't know, I call it candy caning. It's like the tips that have got no lash in them that are supposed to be the length, they curl forward, so I at least don't get any of that in this. But am I done? Yeah, I think that's done. What do you think? Probably a bit more, you know, everyday office work, you know, kind of safe. It's not all, you know, it's not a big blown out look. It's definitely not demure, but it's a little more contained. Yeah, I went and had a look at it in another light, and I think I'm being too hard on myself. It's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad. I do like that open space here. I mean, I'm not to say that this is bad, but I kind of like how the color is just rather concentrated through there, and I've just got that kind of space. I think it makes my eyebrow look lifted. I think it gives me a lift just by being skin. So I've been sitting here in silence, just trying to think, what am I going to do? I've run out of time in my life that I can't actually do a third look. So this is going to be a 2-look impression of the Natasha Denona Roxa palette. And, you know, I'm going to need a little more practice with it. That's just how it is. I need to play with them, see what the textures and what the different shades do and perform, and then I can feel a lot more confident with it. I think, yeah, this one's challenged me quite a bit, and that's good. We all need a challenge in our lives, don't we? We can't just go through life having everything be easy. That would be boring. But as a first impression, it's going to be fine, and it's not bad. I don't think I did a terrible job. I think everything worked out in the end. I mean, both of these looks I'd happily wear outside to the grocery store. I don't know why the grocery store is my thing. I do know why. I know why, because when I got back into makeup, it was during COVID, and my thing was, I'm wearing a mask. Nobody else can, you know, you can't see anything about my face. And I thought, I'm going to make my eyes, I started really dramatic eye looks. That's what really got it started, because I was wearing a mask, the only thing you could see with my eyes, and I did dramatic eye looks with big, goofy, false eyelashes. And that's what started it all. That's what started it all. It was, yeah, I wanted to make my eyes stand out, since that was the only thing you could look at when you had a mask on all the time. So, this certainly would have been fun. You imagine this with your mask, and the only thing you see are mismatched eyes. But I think I did all right as far as, you know, a warm toned eye and a cool toned eye. And I got a fairly good idea how the colors looked. Yeah, some of those shimmers don't want to be wet. They don't, that bluish one that I did on this eye, I realized when I used the spray on it, it made it chunky. So without the spray, it's not as glittery. But as soon as you put anything on it to make it wet, it started to clump. And that's what was falling then getting on my face. So I can't do that. And the only way I would learn that is if I tried it and had that failure. And I'm definitely one of those people who learns from failure more than anything. So failure is my friend. And, you know, it should be your friend too. Don't be afraid of failure. You don't learn if you don't fail. So I appreciate your time and hanging out with me as I stumble through this. This has been the hardest thus far, and I hope that it doesn't continue to be hard like this again. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely day, and or night, or whatever. And yeah, you stay true to yourself. Don't let that inner voice bully you. You tell it where to go, and that is to Foxtrot Oscar. See you later. Bye.